Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, what's up? You guys, I'm just gonna jump right into this video because I'm very excited. I kind of feel like I'm a little bit late, but it's really not my fault. Like, this package was supposed to get to me last week. It's been saying that it's been like package waiting acceptance at the post office, so I have been staring at that same little note for the past couple of days, and it just got to me today. It's the 17th of May, and I'm finally able to sit down and film with it, and I'm really excited, but I'm also a little nervous because I do not know what to expect from these products. But I'm excited because I'm really into complexion. I've been into complexion a lot recently, and I'm just very excited to be reviewing more complexion products on my channel. You already know by the title what I'm going to be testing out today. I picked up the products I was really interested in trying. The only product I did not pick up from the new Jaclyn Cosmetics Prep and Set collection is the setting all over the face powder, the press powder, because not gonna lie, it looks kind of white, and I was not for like having a white cast, so I knew that wasn't gonna work for me, so I did not pick that up. I did pick up the under eye powder in the shade Brightening Banana, which I'm so excited to try. I also did pick up the eye primer, which I've also never tried an under eye primer, but I'm really excited to try this out. And then lastly, of course, I picked up the brightening and setting palette. I have never heard of a setting palette of powders, which I'm so excited about. I honestly wanted to pick up the deepest shade and the palette before this one, but I was like, no, pick up one palette, see how you like it, and when it comes to Ulta, get it at Ulta. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But I have all of this right here and I'm ready to dive in. We are zoomed in. I'm really excited. So we're going to start off with the Hydrating Under Eye Primer. It says prep and hydrate the delicate under eye area with the Skin Perfecting Primer. This retailed for like $24, I think. If that's not correct, it'll be on the screen. But $24 was so expensive for this product, but hopefully it works. I'm excited to see what this product does for me. It does have one of those applicators, like if you were putting on eye cream. We're gonna just apply this. Oh my god, it feels so cold. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna put a little here and a little there, and just like, I've never used one of these, but this feels so good and so cold. And I'm just gonna kind of like press this in to the under eye area. Alright, so now that we have that under eye primer applied, my under eyes definitely do feel hydrated. Of course, I just put like a liquid of some sort under my eyes and it feels really nice. I can't really see if it's doing anything for me right now, but all I do know, like immediate impressions, is that it does definitely hydrate and it does dry down to be really nice. It does feel really smooth, but I won't know how this product really works until I apply my base, which is exactly what I'm about to do right now. So I went and fixed my lighting so you guys could see my face a lot clearer and better. So I did apply my foundation and my concealer and all of that good stuff. And now it's time to set my concealer. So we have the palette right here. This palette is really expensive. I do wish that it was a lot bigger because I really don't know how far these like pan sizes would like take you, especially with like setting. And it depends on how much you use these powders. Now, I personally don't know how I would use these powders. I believe this shade right here is like a corrector shade, and then we have like more brightening shades. Personally, I will say this right now, this is not deep enough. I feel like that's something that you can just tell right off the bat. This is the deepest palette in the collection, and I feel like this could possibly work for me, but for someone that's of a deeper complexion, I do not think this would work that well for them. I feel like they probably would only be able to use one of the shades in this palette. So hopefully that is something that Jaclyn will add to the line and, you know, something like that eventually. But we're gonna go ahead and test this out. I think I am going to just use this on one side of my face and then use the other powder on the other side of my face. I'm gonna take a brush with this powder. I want to go in with this one right here because it's like the brightest one, and I normally apply my powders with a brush, so that's what I'm gonna do. So we're just gonna use this to brighten. I saw Jaclyn's video in that she used a wet sponge, but personally I don't like to use a wet sponge to apply my powder because I find that it does cake up. I know a lot of people like prefer different ways on like using, like setting their concealer and things like that, but me personally, this is just how it works for me, and I don't want to change that up just because I don't like it with normal powder with a wet sponge, so I use a brush. But oh my gosh, do you guys see the difference with my under eyes? Like look, like this side literally looks more awake and alive, and this side just looks like droopy and sleepy. But wow, I really love how this looks with a brush. Like my under eyes look really smooth. I don't really know if that under eye primer is doing anything. Like that was a product I've never used before, so all I know is that it did hydrate, so I know that's good, so my under eyes aren't like dry and like, you know, looking old. So that is a good thing. But this powder is really nice. Like I'm just putting more on. It doesn't even look like I have powder on. I really like this. I'm like looking at it in the mirror. It looks really lightweight and very pretty. Now I don't know about the corrector shade in here. Like I have no idea when I would use this corrector shade. Like I'm not sure if you can use this powder under your foundation. I don't really know. I'm gonna have to play with this some more to really see, you know, about this corrector shade, because it's orange. I know it'll be really great for like getting rid of dark spots, but I just need to see like Jaclyn do like a full video on this collection so I can fully understand these products and get a feel for them. But so far I really do love the shade that I used to set under the eyes. You guys can see yourself, like look at how gorgeous this side of my face looks. Beautiful. Alright, so we have the setting powder, which is really exciting. So I got the shade Brightening Banana, and there is one more shade deeper than this one. It's called like Brightening Apricot. Now in this, like looking at this, this is very tiny. So I have her luminous powder, and I feel like you get more product in this than you do with this one. Like her luminous powder, you get 0.35 ounces of product, and in this setting powder you only get 0.21 ounces of product. I wish that we got more product in here, because I'm like looking at this and I'm like, this is probably gonna be the first powder I finish soon. Like I feel like I would, like this is literally it. Like this, what you see, like all this is just packaging. Like it doesn't really go that deep, and this is a lot bigger, like taller and bigger. So that's something that I'm just noticing. But we're gonna see. This might be one of those powders where you don't need a lot, which would be really nice. So I'm just gonna pour some of this in the cap. This is how much I'm taking in the cap. I might have went in with way too much powder, but that's okay. I remember Jaclyn saying that this powder is really pigmented. I don't know. I don't know how. It definitely did brighten. Okay, I'm just gonna add some of this powder up here to kind of brighten up the forehead and set my forehead. Like this powder definitely does brighten. I can't really tell if it's like brightening up my face or if it's like kind of too light for my face. Like I can't really tell. But I'm gonna just set the sides of my small lines and set where I put concealer down here. This side is where I went in with the setting palette, and this side over here is where I went in with the powder. I personally could not tell you which side I prefer. Looking at it, the monitor on camera, just so I could see what you guys see, I really like how the palette side looks as opposed to the powder side. It just looks a little bit dry under my eyes. I need to see up close. Like, I don't know. This side just looks a lot more smoother. I did see Jaclyn use both powders, so I don't know. I'm gonna take a little bit of this other powder in this palette and just see how like adding both powders does to kind of like, oh my god, that's really bright. Oh, that's really bright. So that definitely did brighten up my face. I think I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of like my base makeup, and then we're gonna try to bake with this powder because I know I saw Jaclyn bake in her IG TV video, so I'm gonna try to bake with this and we're gonna see what that does for me. So I put on a lot of like blush and stuff and bronzer today so we can really kind of like get a feel for this bake. So I'm gonna take some more of this powder in the cap, and I am gonna take this sponge and we're going to try to bake like Jaclyn, like how she did in her video. This powder is really pigmented. I know that was something that she talked about a lot, like this powder just being really pigmented and things like that. So we're just gonna see how this powder applies. And I'm gonna apply some highlighter. So we're gonna use Jaclyn today. And just put some of this highlighter on from Jaclyn, the Go for Gold highlighter, which I love. Really, really pretty. Really gold. So we're gonna take off this bake. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I'm gonna already tell you right now, I'm not gonna bake with this powder because it is very pigmented and it just kind of like left it looking kind of white. I don't know. Like, I'm not a fan of this powder for baking. It is very pigmented. She was so right about that, but like it just left a harsh line. But I'm just gonna go ahead and add the bronzer back to get rid of that harsh line, and then just put some more blush here just to kind of like soften it up a bit. I worked to get it off. I don't know if I'll bake with that though. I'm gonna go ahead and finish my eyes, and then we'll be back for my final thoughts on these products. So final thoughts on some of the products from the new Jaclyn Cosmetics Prep and Set collection. You guys, I honestly was really excited to try out this collection and test out these products. I personally was not expecting to really like the setting palette as much as I do. I just love how this side of my face looks with this palette. And I only used one shade, which was the brightest shade in the palette. I definitely want to figure out how to use all of the other shades in this palette. Personally, I just wish that Jaclyn had came out with these powders separately in separate compacts, just because I would want more of this shade to brighten with. That's the shade Apricot, I think, or yeah, Apricot, and I really like that shade, especially for brightening under the eyes. It looks really beautiful. Now, as far as like the under eye primer, where is it? I like lost it. My table is so dirty. The under eye primer, I personally don't know what this did for me. I don't know. I mean, my under eyes are smooth. I just think that it's just like primer. It just helps to prime the under eyes. I mean, that is what it says it's supposed to do. And I feel like I'm just gonna use this some more, and this will definitely be in an upcoming like product roundup update, because I just need to play with this some more to see what it really does. I need to see how it holds up like a full day of like wearing this, and like what it does for my under eyes. And as far as the under eye powder, I like it. I like it. I do like it, but I don't like it for baking. Like, I think it's a little bit too, it ended up looking a little bit too white to bake with. I typically bake with powders that are closer to my skin tone. I wanted to try this out, but sadly the deepest shade in the under eye setting powders is not close to my skin tone, so I couldn't like go out and buy that one to use to bake, you know what I mean? But I do like this. I'm happy that I was able to use it on this side of my face. I'm not gonna lie, when I first put it on, it looked a little bit dry. I just felt like the palette powder was a little bit more hydrating, though this one is meant to like brighten. I don't know, but you guys let me know down in the comments which side you preferred. Like, did you prefer the palette side or the under eye powder? I do feel like I will go through this powder a lot. I'm happy I didn't pick up the pressed setting powder just because I don't use those kind of powders. Those leave a white cast. Like, I've tried a powder that looks similar to that. White cast vibes all the way. Hopefully Jaclyn will come out with more skin tone type pressed powders, because I really would have loved to try out that formula to see if I liked it. You know, I would have loved to try out that formula, so sadly I missed out on that, but what can I do? I knew it wasn't gonna work for me. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like, honestly, all in all, my base looks gorgeous. Like, I'm looking at myself in the monitor and I love how my base looks. I'm happy that she came out with these products because they're really, like, I'm like really honestly shocked about this right here. Like, it's expensive, but if there's one thing I would pick up from this collection, it would be this, because I feel like it is the most unique thing out there in the beauty community, and it is the most unique thing in this particular collection. So that's that on this. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please let me know your thoughts down below, because I'm like anxious to see what you guys think on these products. But yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.